It's not surprising that people see the lake being full and assume that we've got all this water and there's no need to plan for it, but the full lake is this false idea that we have all this water, when in reality you can't see how much water is actually moving through the system, and so it creates this false sense of water security.
We're on the Coosa River on Lake Neely Henry, and we're floating through Gadsden, where we'll see a variety of water uses in a close proximity, including power generation, drinking water supply, fishing, boating, industrial water supply.
One of the biggest uses of the river, one of the biggest drivers of benefits to the rivers is the economic value that people get from coming to the state to use the rivers for recreation, for fishing, for enjoying the rivers.
Water is one of the most critical variables in any farmer's crop.
We are growing so much in population, and all of our different uses of these waterways are really putting stress on river systems and on aquifers.
This is the Goodyear Tire water intake in Gadsden.
If you withdraw a certain amount of water from surface sources like a river, then you have to report it to the Office of Water Resources. But the Office of Water Resources doesn't have any kind of ability to come in and say, you know, that's too much.
The system that we have right now is a system of water rights that we inherited from England, and it's based off of someone having property that touches water. All of the major municipalities that draw water off of the surface, river water, lake water, can't get their certificate of use because the way that they use water is they're distributing the water to people who don't live on the water, the non-riparian use. And so the city of Birmingham, the city of Montgomery, Tuscaloosa, Auburn, Anniston, I mean, name a city in Alabama, can't get a certificate for the water that they use. That's an absurd system.
This is the Gadsden Waterworks intake on Lake Neely Henry, the Coosa River. It supplies water for Gadsden, Attala, Southside, Rainbow City, all the communities in the area.
Alabama is one of the only states in our region that doesn't have any kind of meaningful water management. If you're a court, for example, and you're asked to look at how each state is managing its water resources within its borders, then Alabama loses that fight.
The courts are going to look at the various plans that the states have for their water resources and sort of divide that water up fairly. Alabama doesn't have a plan for managing its water resources, and so if we say, Georgia, you're using too much water, how do we prove it?
This is the Gadsden Steam Plant water intake. It's drawing water out of the river to generate steam and cool the units.
For the most part, water management is a couple of basic things. It's monitoring how much water people are using. It is accounting for that use through some sort of certificate program or permit program. And it also is a system of responses to shortage or to drought.
Agriculture is still one of the dominant industries in our state, but we've lost a tremendous amount of our row crop agriculture to other regions. Irrigation is one way for Alabama farmers to be able to compete with the Midwest and the arid West. A water management plan, as part of its economic aspect, would be able to move that water to farmers where they could grow crops in an economic fashion.
It's very important for a water management plan to have buy-in from all the different stakeholders representing all the different water users. And they all need to have more or less equal voice in terms of deciding the plan for their river.
Governor Bentley actually took a great deal of leadership back in 2012 when he called together the various state agencies that work on water and made them work together as the Alabama Water Agencies Working Group, or the AWAG. The AWAG gave a report back to the governor in December of 2013, and the governor released that report to the public in April of 2014. The question now for Governor Bentley and the AWAG is, where do we go? When are we going to come together as stakeholders to talk about these issues so that we can actually get from reporting on the issues to managing the system to benefit everybody?
What we saw today is just 1 mile of the Coosa River, and we have over 140,000 miles of streams in Alabama. This kind of stuff is going on everywhere on all of our major rivers. It's important that we plan our water usage and protect our streams so that we have water into the future.
And as I say that, a huge bass just jumps right over here, so time to end the interview and get the fishing pole out.